eventually I might, but
Well, it's 7:32, so yeah, sure. Let's start reading some of those out loud. What happened last game?
Everything.
yeah, long story short, yeah, we fought Talia again. And she wasn't really all there. So whether we really fought Talia again or we just fought the feeble-minded husk of Talia, hard to say. Maybe easier to say for some folks who aren't us. She didn't take so there was lots of attacking. We jumped off some mushrooms. We were very satisfied with our mobility and stabifying. Cure reminded everybody that we're not supposed to kill Talia. Tried to dispel the magic. Johnson tried a sunbeam. There was counterspell shenanigans. Titus feels very strongly about how exciting everything was. Hey, come here. Settle, please. This is because I have some Oreos here and he's not getting to eat them. Life is hard.
Yeah, life is difficult when you're a pup.
Really is. And I'm not going to eat them either, so I should talk faster so I can eat them after talking. Yeah, there was also somebody else there who was casting some stuff. Turns out Talia and Cure were feeble mind buddies for a while. It was fine. Trying not to do a play-by-play. It wasn't. It really wasn't. But then Cure was banished far, far away. Despite an extremely cool counterspell duel. And yeah, there was fighting. There was lots of sort of trying to triangulate where this other person was. Eventually, he became visible. It was Bostwick, and we killed him as we had threatened to do so. And we threw the iron bands of Bolaro, but turns out that exactly as Macklin had told us, you do need to say the command word before flinging them. So that didn't work so well. Johnson still has them to this day. No, well, apparently there's at least one situation in which having a plan helps. And then V saved the day, or at least part of the day, by dispelling the spell whose name I can never pronounce on Talia. And she stopped trying to kill us all. Jazen fixed the feeble mind or feeble mind equivalent. I don't know if we actually know that's what it was. She fell over. Cure gave her a hit point so that she didn't die. And we all went to Whitestone. There was lots of conversation before that with Talia about where to rest and whether to leave or not leave. Talia reassured us that the soul battery in this particular place that was not far, from where we were, is one of the original soul batteries. And Sonder would, if he could move it, he already would have done so, which means that it's going to be, if we can go, we can rest, we can come back, we'll still be there. We don't seem to have asked if he would have surrounded it by many, many more people who could kill us all. So I guess we'll see when we get back. But we all went back to Whitestone. And took Talia to Odrin's house. And some people were very rude in looking for undead and may have drawn some strange conclusions. Also, Talia's shadow, she'd separated her shadow at some point to tell us where that safe room was, and now it kind of has life of its own. That's all we got.
She's pretty good at it, isn't she, chat?
Okay.
She can retell a story.
From last game or between game?
Let's start with last game and then we'll move to between games.
I think she does a good job, personally. Macklin usually does too, but Rob doesn't like to talk for some reason.
Tab's apparently undead and in denial.
I mean, agree to disagree. Talia's not undead, apparently, though, so that's good news.
So let's go with what the definition of undead is, and then we can talk about it.
Undead is the spectrum, as Talia explained later.
That seems fine.
Oh my god. Just a little undead. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to add. That was fairly concise.
Okay.
Oh, there was also, Talia also encouraged us to save the plane shift amulet for emergencies only. It's not
Oh.
clear if that is an objective assessment of risk or if she had a traumatic experience with the plane shift amulet or something similar.
I think she
Or
explained that it
both.
was because of that amulet that she got cut to pieces.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah, I think
Want to know
the
how I got these scars?
exact
That's
phrase was
right.
torn apart.
We were curious about this, but it didn't seem like even we could tell it wasn't the time to ask
Yeah,
questions
that's
about it.
leave that for the therapists of Sarah and Ray.
No,
Therapist
leave it for
of
when her
Sarah
mother's
Ray.
not right there to cut us to pieces.
Come on. Nobody's gonna cut you in the pieces, maybe.
Alrighty. So moving
What are you
to
talking
between
about?
games.
Jocelyn took Tab a nice quiet spot in the woods, and everyone just sat there and didn't talk about anything at all.
Okay.
That sounds so nice. That sounds so nice.
There was no conversation to be had whatsoever.
That's fair.
It was extremely peaceful, and Tab has never been into peaceful before, but it didn't suck. Sunbeam chased some sticks.
So is Tab going to become a monk now?
You don't know.
That's not a no.
Alrighty. Anyone else want to talk about? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Macklin took the body, quote unquote, the body, to the Temple of the Raven Queen, with Cure staying close, either being supportive or making sure he's not getting into trouble. Hard to tell. After briefly discussing where to take him, it was decided that the Temple of the Raven Queen was probably the better of the multiple choices. They discussed Tab's current predicament. Mac pointed out that perhaps their reactions may have terrified Tab, who's already kind of flighty. I believe the description was like a spooked cat. And that maybe they should ease into their next conversation.
Why would you think that a champion of the Raven Queen accusing you of being undead might be terrifying? Why would that be concerning for anyone at all ever?
Funnily enough,
Cure is of the opinion that she really needs to think about how she presents herself if her closest friends and allies think she'd so willingly, quickly turn on them.
That was kind of a part of the conversation that they had, and after being a little bit browbeaten by Cure for that very reason, they discussed options. Mostly just concerned about how this happened, why this happened. Upon getting to the temple, Macklin confirmed that Bostrick's soul is probably not in Sondor or Vecna's possession. Demigods are one thing, but that's the purview of gods and very powerful demons, of which those two aren't. So it's probably okay. As far as the body being revived, well, that got torched and put into a very dull urn. Some more conversation happened, and Macklin eventually went to leave and explained that he'd be going to the woods to do what you do with ashes in the woods, and that Cure should spend some time with her family.
Which leads into Cure spending time with her family.
Like you do.
Cure went back to the safe house to check on Talia. I mean, she left her in the care of V as her guard, who, of course, wouldn't just leave such a high-value recovery there alone. Oh, wait. Cure berated herself for not being explicit with instructions and hung out with Talia. Learned a couple things about the situation with Vecna. Learned that Vecna did find out about the reliquary, but then someone was able to modify his memory so that he's not aware of the reliquary being missing.
Legit?
talk. What was that?
Legit?
Legit. There was a brief exchange about who gets to be more guilty than the other. It ended in a draw where they decided, you know what, let's not trace this back any further. Cure had some discussion with Talia about both the Raven Queen and the nature of Talia's relationship with, or lack thereof, with Grace. Talia kind of raised the point that gods are not mortals, and as such, they're capable of being idiots and alienating people without realizing it. And her relationship with Grace seems to be well and truly done with, and Cure respected her decision to not pursue anything further, but is not going to burn or give back the letters and paraphernalia she took from Talia's room that seemed to have been from Grace, until Talia has had time to recover and heal a little bit, so she'd be in a better mindset to decide what to do with those items. I think that's all that I can remember. That's all I got.
Okay.
Like we said, everything happened.
Oh, Cure did reinforce with Talia that at this stage, the best thing Talia could do to reinforce the fight against Vecna is to do nothing, and to accept that people are going to need her to stay put until several things can be settled, and that she would be much more worthwhile to everyone if she's not involved in the fight.
Yep. Okay. So, V, roll me a D100 as you peruse your way through the bookstore.
$86.
86. Exponentia, Floramina, and the Leyline Convergence Matrix inter alia. Gonna keep looking?
Definitely. This is
Okay.
fun.
Yeah, keep rolling.
Now think about that.
68.
68.
She's rolling the D100. I mean, she has a 100% chance of hitting certain things. Keep that in mind.
You're gonna like this one. Cultural history of dark magic.
Ooh. He's having fun at the bookstore.
Has the bookstore gotten a new shipment since the last time V's been
This
through?
is
This is
a
amazing.
I'm
new
fairly
bookstore.
sure there was an estate sale, gosh, from some, really old mage.
Yeah, this bookstore was not actually in existence last time. There was not, in fact, actually a bookstore.
Yes,
This
because last
is
time we
new.
were antiquing. Ended up with things like finger traps mixed in. Can I do another one?
Yeah.
96.
96. Fast Friends, an autobiographical account regarding dangerous and morally ambiguous misuses of charm spells.
Ooh. B likes this game. His new favorite bookstore. In that there is one. So, does B just keep rolling the dice until someone comes and pulls him out of the bookstore?
No
We'll
one
get
knows
there.
where V is.
Yeah.
So-
How much do these books cost?
We'll get there. So Macklin, heading back into town?
Yeah, probably be around that time.
Okay. You head back into town. No one bugs you. As you head back into town, you feel someone fall into step next to you.
Okay. What would it be to make a perception check without actually looking at them?
Perception with disadvantage.
Disadvantage, okay. Oh, I should actually take out my dice for this game. Okay, hopefully it's not lower than that. Oh, that could have been so good. One sec, I have a 24.
All right,
Could have
well,
been a 28, but it's not.
DC wasn't that high, so yeah, no. You feel ghost fall into step next to you.
Probably the lack sound would be the dead giveaway.
Yeah, someone falling into step next to you, but not actually making very much noise, if at all.
By the pricking of my thumb, someone silent this way comes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Uncle Macklin. And you notice immediately that her voice is what it used to be.
Why, you're sounding worlds better.
I lost a bet with Uriel.
He just nods. Checks out. He'll eventually turn while he's walking and begin walking backward, hands in his pockets to look her over.
Mhm.
I presume the scar is all along her face and neck. Would she still have that veiled?
She is still veiled, yes.
Fair enough.
And she looks you over, kind of watching you.
Surprised you're not on the front lines with the others. Are you keeping the town safe?
Yes. I'm in town for a little bit.
Business?
In between missions.
Knowing nod, he closes his eyes. Yes, we're on a brief stop ourselves. We have forced to return briefly.
I imagine it has something to do with the extra paladin in your group.
He stops walking and moves in close. Word travels fast. Who else knows?
Me, Ava, a couple of class runners that do you know how to keep their mouth shut?
Yeah, of course, Ava would know. Well, as long as they keep their mouths shut, we're good. We're hoping it would not.
I don't think that they will remember it. Ava is pretty protective of Talia.
He gives a few quick nods, closing his eyes, remembering what happened the last time they encountered Talia alongside with Ava. I assume that you know where she's being kept.
I have 2 guesses, but I thought I might intercept you and narrow it down.
He hooks his glance into the direction of Odrin's parlor. Parlor? Apartment. Currently on house arrest. Hopefully, Kyora's talked her into staying put for her own good.
Shouldn't be difficult. Coming back from the Shadowfell is always difficult for her.
He cocks a brow. She's at Tal'Dorei. Are you certain? They tend to be rather spirited, that family.
Roll an insight check.
Sure. Insight, 25.
She's holding something back from you, but you get the feeling it's not holding it back from you because she's keeping it from you so much as she's not going to go talking about it in the town square.
Perhaps we should talk somewhere quieter.
I'll meet up with you there.
Certainly. Speaking of Ava, by the by, is she in her regular spot, or is she somewhere out and about today?
Her regular spot. She was making dinner last I checked.
Oh. Well, the more reason to pay the visit. Well, bid you adieu.
I'll
If
meet
there's
you there. I'll meet you there soon.
He inclines his head.
And she'll part ways from you.
The city of Whitestone, is it possible for others to hear messages through the bracelet while in the town? Or is the range, is the town bigger than the range?
The town is pretty, it's not, you're going to get most of the town.
Okay.
You feel pretty confident that you will get everybody or almost everybody.
All right, in that case, I'll continue walking northward and bring the wrist communicator up to my mouth and... Well, finished with business. Presumably you're all alive and accounted for. I intend to meet with an Arcanist friend. If anyone has any queries or items or questions of that matter, feel free to come along.
Jocelyn and Tab, you do hear this message as you would be coming into town right about the time that came through.
Is Kior in range as well?
Yeah.
Oh gods, I forgot about these things. Where's V?
I thought V was back at Odrin's.
So did I before I got here.
V, have you been assassinated? Bleed once for yes?
Not yet, but how would you hear me bleeding? Over a bracelet.
Oh, good, you're alive.
Perhaps you knew you'd respond to the question.
Why are you bleeding?
Paper cuts.
Where are you? We'll come help.
Help him bleed or help with the cuts?
We'll see when we get there.
Oh, my.
I'm not telling you where I am.
Is there
Right,
only
that's
one bookstore?
reassuring.
Is there only one bookstore in town? Or are there
Yes.
No
multiple
one knows
bookstores?
about it.
There's a bookstore and a library.
Is it the bookstore or the library?
What bookstore?
There's a bookstore?
We'll see you soon. And we're gonna head towards the bookstore.
Kyo, did you know there was a bookstore?
No, I did not.
How long have we been out?
I think we have larger things to concern ourselves with than a bookstore.
I guess that is a matter of opinion, Cure.
This is half of the problem with this party.
Knowledge is power, Cure.
Perhaps one of the greatest powers you could have. You should try it sometime, Kyo.
Fine, you two go pursue your knowledge with V, and I'll see about getting things done.
Cure, if you're feeling left out, isn't there a book you could be reading?
Meanwhile, in the safe house. All right, Talia, the others are being idiots. I'm going to take you somewhere safe.
Is this still is the bracelet still on?
I think you need intention to spin to the bracelet.
Yeah.
That was
be
actually an
fair.
action.
I'm pretty sure there was intention there. I'm pretty sure Kyo wanted us to hear that. I'm sorry. But that just sounds like something Kyo would do.
Actually, you know what? Sure.
Talia arches an eyebrow at you. Mother, I greatly appreciate everything that has been done for me today, but I am covered in my friend's blood, and I would very much like to do Rites of Atonement if you don't mind.
Well, if you're looking to get cleaned up, I know exactly where to go for that, which was where I was planning on taking you anyway.
All right. She stands up and starts putting her boots and armor back on.
During their break period, Kior did give her some fresh clothing to change into.
She isn't. Okay, so we didn't clarify that, because if she got fresh clothing, she was going to go take a bath.
I didn't even know there was a bath in here.
Yeah. It's a
I thought
two-bedroom
it
apartment.
mentioned that in the...
Yep, no, she definitely mentioned that beforehand. 100%. What is going on?
Well, no one's there to, provide Kior with a better idea, so Kior's going to be Kior. And yeah, going to say she's migrate to somewhere different.
All right.
This place looks abandoned. She can't be sure of how many spells remain in the place, and there's still the additional extra paladin armor that's non-bloody if they don't want to raise a fuss, but the mask should be enough to somewhat hide them as they make their way to the mansion.
Okay. She puts her adamantine on. What's your passive?
Not
15.
12.
12. Okay. Puts her mask on. Pulls her hood up over her white hair. All right.
All right then, stay close.
And your passive is 15 tab. What path are you taking, Cure?
She would actually probably want to avoid the most traveled route. Let's see here. All right, so I'm over there.
Mhm.
Oh, well, this and Manor Rex is where is the Tal'Dorei mansion?
Yep.
All right.
Wait, which Tal'Dorei mansion?
The only one she would want to go to, Ilya's.
Okay, yes, the Manor Rex is that one.
All right, then yeah, she's probably going to take the route that has her encounter Macklin.
Okay. All right. Macklin, were you heading back to the Odrins, or on your way before heading to Ava's, or just heading straight to Ava's?
I didn't see much reason to head back to Odrin's, considering that Cure responded and seems to have a pulse. So yeah, I'll head toward the boarding house.
Okay. Alright, so timing. Yeah, you'd probably get to the boarding house. You would probably get to the bookstore. You would get to Manor Rex without bumping into each other. Jocelyn, where are you going?
That's a good question indeed. I'm, you know, Jocelyn would probably go to Manor Rex.
Okay.
Just because he would want to say hi to old friends.
Okay. All right. Guys, just walk. I mean, you guys probably arrive at about the same time because we're gonna play with time a little funky. Yeah. So as you approach, you see the pair of paladins.
Well, isn't that two of my favorite paladins? How are you?
Oh, well, here's at least one person with some sense of responsibility.
Well, yeah, I figured, Tab would go find V, bring V back to us. Macklin's off doing whatever Macklin is. What does Macklin do exactly? I still haven't figured that one out. And I would go and maybe get some information from people who have been around for a little bit. Plus, I haven't seen people in a very long time. Long enough time.
She has her mask up, and Josen can't see her expression or hear her roll her eyes anyway before she goes up to the door.
Okay.
I heard that.
My footsteps walking away from you? I bet you did. I most certainly do not. I forgot, do I have a key to this place?
You do, because it's your house.
I come and go so frequently that I honestly don't know. That's why Cure keeps like all of her things in her bag.
Sorry,
I'm adding that to my
Didn't mean to
list right now
vape
just so I
in
don't
your
forget.
ear.
Yeah, after the key incident of your first time staying the night with Ilya, she makes sure that she makes sure that you have a key now.
All right, then I'm going to use that to let Josen and I in.
Are you going to go find your brother first as well, or?
I wanted to make sure Talia gets settled and washed up first. Oh, by the way, dear, here, I'll reach over and give her some hit points.
She smiles and takes them. Thank you.
That's going to be 30.
I'll raid Mama's closet. Those will fit better.
Most likely. Kior says that knowing full well that, yeah. Now, there was a house steward that I'm trying to remember their name.
So as you kind of make and usher or wave Talia off, Petra approaches.
Petra!
Yes. Welcome back.
Thank you. We require some help. I look over at Talia, kind of purse my lips. I'm like, Oh, I am not good at being sneaky.
Petra
Please show.
just,
Go ahead.
yeah, Petra just holds up a hand. Then don't. I will make sure your guest is taken care of.
Thank you, much appreciated. If we could get some clothing for her from Ilya's closet, I will explain the situation to her as soon as I find her.
Of course. And he motions for Talia to follow them.
Okay, that's one thing down. Now, we need to get a message to Ilya.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, this is quite awkward, as Jocelyn kind of puts his hand to his chin. This is my first time back to Whitestone. I honestly have not the foggiest clue what's going on at the moment. I don't think this would be your first time. Did Talia walk away or no? The maid took her, right?
Petra, yeah.
Okay. So Jocelyn's like, I can't remember, does everyone know that I am not, how do you say, under Vecna's control?
As far as I know, everyone thinks you're dead.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I guess it will be a great surprise when I go say hi.
Well, except Ilya and whomever Ilya felt like speaking. And my brother. I did exchange messages with him.
Oh, good. Oh, so it's not going to be a surprise like your dead friends coming to visit you from the grave. Good.
Although it depends on how much we want to keep. Well, that pendant of yours broke when you walked across the desecrated symbol, so I suppose there's no point in hiding your presence.
I was just going to say the same thing. I'm pretty sure Vecna knows that I'm well and good. Though, and I imagine this is Cure and Jocelyn talking as they're walking. Though I do have to say that I'm kind of disappointed that he wanted to kill me. I got to be honest.
Disappointed? I'm surprised you didn't see it coming.
Well, it's not every day your father wants to have you killed.
If your father's Vecna, I beg to differ.
True. That is true. Even lich thing that wants to destroy the world. I get it.
To be honest, Kyora's not even sure. Like, she knows there's a entry in the basement to the war camp, but she's not sure if she needs, like, Petra's assistant to get access to it.
Nope, you do not need. You know that you do not need Petra's assistance to get access to it.
Okay, then that's where I'm heading.
Mm-hmm.
But I need assistance getting back. Wasn't that right?
Nope.
Okay, never mind then.
What was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say.
It's your house. You can move back and forth very easily.
I totally forgot what I was going to say now. Never mind. I guess it wasn't that important.
Kyora's absent-mindedness completely flummoxed Josen.
I really wish you wouldn't talk to yourself like that, Kyo. You really make me lose my train of thought.
It's the only way to keep mine on track. Right, there's an entryway to the war camps this way. And I'll pause and speak into our little communicator. I'm making a pit stop at the war camp. Talia's at the manor. Petra is seeing to their care. I'll be back.
Okay.
I guess Jocelyn and Cure somehow randomly are going to the war camp now.
So you head to the basement. You're a little confused as to what the hell is going on, especially with Kiora announcing you're going to the war camp. And you hear a door unlock and open in the basement, and you smell fresh turn. It smells kind of muddy, and you smell beer and cider. which is odd. And as you are guided through, you are hit with a breeze as you realize that you're in a tent outside.
Well-
So I believe there's some things I need to explain to you.
Where are we, Cure?
The war camp.
And where is the war camp exactly? I don't imagine it's in the middle of Whitestone, right?
It's in the middle of somewhere, all right.
So where are we?
I am consulting my notes.
Cure, why are you standing there with a blank stare for?
I'm
Sure.
not. I'm walking away from you. Cure is going to lead Josen out of the haven and make their way towards the royal encampment.
Okay.
As the player rapidly tries to consult their notes as to where the war camp's actually set.
Where the war camp is set?
Yeah.
Where is the war camp? I can't remember.
The war camp is in between Drinna and the Turst Fields. It is on the Parchwood Byway. It is in between, basically, the Parchwood Timberlands, where Whitestone sits, is kind of a peninsula, and this is the line which would cut off the peninsula. It is facing Westrum.
Nowhere near where I thought it was, aside from Western.
It is just east of Westrum.
Well, actually, just east of Western.
And why did they pick here for a war camp?
If I remember correctly, Western is held by the enemy, right? It's one of Vecna's cities right now.
Mhm.
And that's where most of the fighting has been centered since the war shifted.
So you guys are walking in the encampment from Haven to the Royal Encampment
Correct.
when Jocelyn asked this?
Yeah.
So you hear a familiar voice behind you, Jocelyn, go, because it's centrally located, in order to split the country in half, it gives us a fortified defensible position in order to keep land as we head into winter. We don't have to be all shoved into a tiny little city. And it gives us a good view of Western, so when we're ready to attack Western, we're right here.
I was just about to say that.
Is that Ilya?
As Ilya smiles at you.
I'll remove my mask and give Ilya a tired smile.
Such a beautiful voice to hear during these
Oh,
times.
I'm so glad I found you sooner rather than later.
Yes, well, I was doing my evening patrols.
First, I will walk over to give her a hug.
She hugs you back.
As we're embracing, I just whisper quietly, I have her.
You feel her grip on you go tighter. She nods. So we should get back to my encampment.
I think that would be a good idea. I did leave the rest of our party in Whitestone tending to some errands of theirs. And, well, I left a guest back at the manor house. I'm sure you would want to see them settled eventually.
Then I will tell Yuri that I will be away for the evening.
I nod.
As she lifts a hand to her ear. Yuri, I have to tend to some family business. I will be away for the evening. Yes and yet no. Something like that, yes. Mm-hmm. All right.
She got an important phone call.
As she nods to you all. All right, back to the manor then.
Jocelyn goes, Yep, that sounds good. Yep. Just got here. I wanted to see the sights. Smell the smells, though it smells rank of. Let's.
It smells like old armor and fighting men and women and horses and I
Beer.
believe and that's the Haven.
Wow, that
I
explains it.
As you can see, a lot has happened in the past few days.
Yep.
We'll go with days.
Yep, we'll go with that.
Yep. she just shakes her head. Let's get to the manor.
Chaz and it right before they walk through. It is good to hear your voice.
I have missed you. As she walks through the Haven, you see her pull from one of the kegs she grabs a pint and fills it with cider and hands it to Jocelyn. Cider is impeccable. You should try it, I'm told.
Chaz takes the cider. Very pungent.
As she leads you to the back through the door to the manor.
From whence we came, we shall return.
All right. As you all head back to the manor, Macklin.
Oh, hello.
So you're heading to the boarding house.
Yeah.
Easy enough. Head on in.
Long enough? Of course.
You open the door, and immediately the smell of something exceptionally spicy hits your nose.
Macklin wrinkles his nose and. Is it the same stuff that they have in Western, or is this like Marquesian?
This smells like something like what she had made before, the Sim she had made before, but it smells like she put something in it like ghost chilies or the Tal'Dorei equivalent.
Oh wow! So eyes watering, briefly just pinching on his nose to clear it. Ooh, oh wow! He'll make his way toward the kitchen area where presumably she is mixing the medicine.
Mm-hmm. She nods to you as you come in, and she, takes the walk off the fire. Macklin, I was wondering when you'd come see me.
Well, I had a few things to attend to, but of course I wouldn't leave town without seeing you first. You seem to be rather busy with, something. Do you need a hand?
This will burn the shit out of you.
Even with a fancy scarf on?
Not that sort of burn.
Okay, I will keep my hands and nose clear. Are you intending on killing a duke with that, or...?
I believe we have a friend that just returned from the Shadowfell, do we know?
Indeed.
You see her put into like a small pottery container and put a lid on it. And
Do you intend to punish her for some transgression?
she has mentioned to me before that when she spends too much time in the Shadowfell, she loses sense of taste.
Oh, no kidding. Well, I suppose that checks out with everything else. So, comfort food, then.
More or less. Welcome home.
Power to her gut.
Anyway, would you like to come down to the workshop?
Oh, so certainly.
You see her, like, throw open a couple of windows on her way down.
He's just going to follow her on the way and hope to the gods that Grandma does not wander into the kitchen, because she will not survive that.
How we doing, Kat?
No.
How we all doing out there?
Not a chance.
No, not a chance. She doesn't have the con score for it. Yeah, you guys head to the workshop?
Yep.
She doesn't seem to have anything currently going.
Oh, okay. Part of visiting you was to talk about that certain return guest. But it seems you already know what's going on. I ran into sorrow along the way. She clued me into a few things.
I know the barest, smallest amount. All I know is that your party arrived with an extra paladin, and I guessed.
Well, a correct guess is still correct. It would seem that the Whispered One is well and truly done with her. She's not exactly been the best second in command, it seems. Did some awful things by turning her against us. Some kind of a spell to keep her loyal. And I believe someone else cast a spell to rob her of her mind. Two affronts I'm certain that you will not abide by.
You know me well.
One of them has been dealt. We're still working on the Whispered One. I brought you some things.
Oh, please.
So I'll find a desktop to present some things. And first, I'll take out the broken raven skull pendant, the one recovered from Jason after he cast it to the ground.
Mhm.
This is well and truly broken. Some kind of desecrated ground destroyed it. But I thought, well, perhaps you might benefit from this broken thing in some way or shape.
She takes it and looks it over. I can at least study the spells on it. That were on it, the rune work.
He nods. It was made by someone close to the Whispered One. Something to protect the wearer from being seen or being affected by him. You dabbled in the arcana, perhaps you might get a kick out of rune work. And as she's looking over that, I'll produce the small black maple leaf, the iron one. This was the one who enfeebled her mind. He was wielding this. I don't know if it's connected to his patron, his boss, Sandor.
You see her take it and look it over. Sandor's playing with iron, literally and figuratively.
Isn't that a bad idea for a fey creature?
It is, unless you're fighting other fey creatures.
Oh, interesting. To be honest, I don't know very much about Sandor, aside the fact that he dabbles with life and death and has a penchant for making duplicates of the Empress, I guess she is now?
The Empress, and I think, yes.
Do you know of any grudges he may have had with other Faefolk?
Yes. Oh, give me a moment. Let me pull a book.
What? Book? They've written books about this man.
It's a very old story.
That's how old is Sandor?
He's a fae.
Oh, good point. Good point. I'll find a discreet spot upon one of these desks and just hop up and sit. Let my legs dangle.
There's a moment where she shuffles through some things. And she nods. He was in love with another fae, a woman who was stolen away by the Earl King.
Stolen by the Earl King, you say?
Mm.
He rubs his chin. The Earl King is dead. I believe part of whatever agreement the Whispered One is working with the Fae folk has something to do with the King's untimely passing.
Mm. Well, fae are vengeful and have long memories.
Checks out. Well, that's a feather to keep in my hat for later, I suppose. What else do I have? I don't know. Did I already give her the horned devil spike? I don't know if I left that with her.
I think you did. I'm not quite sure.
All right, I'll just take that out of my inventory.
Okay. She comes back to the workbench.
And that's it for now. Not much else to find in the Feywild. Well, there were plenty of things to find in the Feywild, but we were not utterly terrified, but extremely wary of touching things. One of my companions took their boots off, and terrible things happened to them.
Sounds like a good way to get cursed.
A curse? Oh, that makes sense. They seem to be enjoying it to its fullest extent, so I don't think anyone's intent on removing that anytime soon.
Well, just be aware that some curses are permanent if you wait too long.
Noted. Noted. I will keep that in mind. Right then. He's going to hop off of his hiding place up on the counter and dust himself down a little. I don't think we're staying very long. I would like to stay longer. We've left unfinished business that way. Oh, I did have a question. I'm not sure if this is your house or Mika's. Cure has this bag. And for as many things she puts in this bag, it never seems to fill. Do you happen to know such a magic?
Yes, it's a dimensional pocket. It's a bag of holding, I'm sure.
Oh, right. Do you think they have those over by the alcove?
She looks at you and looks you over. Before she stands, and she moves slowly over to her personal area. It takes a moment, looks through some things, comes back with a pouch. This is because I like you and you bring me nice things.
Well, that just happens to work for me. I like you and I enjoy bringing you nice things.
I think that you know enough
Macklins.
about me to know that I don't like letting go of things. So,
Are you absolutely certain then?
for you, yes.
Then I would be honored to accept such a gift.
Plus, it'll make it easier for you to carry lots of things to bring back to me.
I'm carrying a lot of things, and it's starting to make me very, very rattly. Thank you.
Of course.
He inclines his head and actually gives her a bow at just about the hip. Playful, but genuinely respectful as he gingerly takes the pouch.
She smiles and she, with a hand on the edge of her apron, gives you a curtsy.
While we're out, is there anything that you're looking for in particular in the Feywild? Where last we left, there was a hole filled with strange mushrooms. I think V was looking to eat some of them.
Before eating strange mushrooms, please bring them to me to identify so I can tell you what sort of fun you're going to have.
Noted. Oh, yes, there was one thing I forgot. I have contraband you might be interested in.
Oh?
Yes, platinum coins marked with the emblem of the Whispered One.
That's easy enough to fix.
I present the pouch of 20 platinum coins.
She takes it. Yes, I can fix this. She'll put the coins to the side and hand you, reach into a pocket and pull out a pouch and counts out 18 platinum coins and hands them to you.
He nods and accepts.
There you are.
Thank you kindly. I'll be sure to bring any more your way. I presume you'll melt them down into something better.
Oh, yes, of course. Proper ingots. Platinum's platinum. It just...
Shiny. With a smile and a little bit of a wiggle of his nose, he lifts his hand and turns his way to the stairs. I'll be seeing you again.
Oh, Macklin, are you heading to wherever your new old friend is staying?
Yes, I presume so. I do need to know.
Will you take that bowl with you? It's safe enough when it's covered.
Right, I shall move far away before it's opened. I'll take the bowl and gingerly, as though handling hot magma, hold it out.
It's fine. It's like a crockery bowl with like a little lid on it.
I'll be sure to deliver this war crime of spices to her post haste.
Thank you. Tell her to come see me when she is available.
I shall. Adieu.
Till we meet again.
Until then, I'll count the days. So he's going to get out of there and do I have to actually touch the wrist or just talk into it?
You can talk into it with intent. Talking into it with intent.
Talking with intent, okay. As soon as I get back out into the street, I will speak up. Cure, are you still at Odrin's? I have something terrible here. It might be good. I'm terrified of it. Cure? Where did Cure go? Johnson, where did Cure go? Johnson? Jozzy? Papa? Papa, don't leave me alone. Tab? Me?
Tab
Are
is
you
like,
alive?
I'm guessing it's outside the bookstore, but hasn't quite made it in at this point.
Tab
Maybe.
is heading into the bookstore, yeah.
And like is like with the bracelet up to they were about to respond when Macklin said Jossie, and now they're just waiting until they hear their name, and then we're here. We're not dead.
That's good news. Where's everyone else?
Do we see V, or is V hidden behind the stacks?
You see V in the stacks.
V is here.
I'm now picturing V like halfway up a bookshelf, standing on another massive pile of books.
V has spider climb, so V is just sitting on a bookshelf.
He seems normal. He has many
Oh,
books. Would you like a
Where is
book?
here?
Here, at the bookstore.
Where is the bookstore?
You don't know who the bookstore is?
We never had a bookstore. It's new. Are you sure it's not being run by demons or devils or genies or evoke?
We wouldn't mind if it was. We're not sure. We haven't quite got. We're standing in the door now. We can see V. V, is this run by demons or genies or ghosts or what? What else was there,
I
Vasquez?
don't think there are good demons.
You guys are talking out loud when you say this, right?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So as you kind of yell this
gosh.
inside, you see a tiefling who's sitting behind the counter. A familiar tiefling to you both, actually. She lowers her romance novel
He
into
just has
size.
his head in his hand.
Yeah. Tell him it's devils.
It's devils, not demons, or tieflings, or no. Wait, sorry, we wouldn't have said tiefling. It's devils, not demons, or genies, or ghosts.
I didn't mention ghosts. Other ghosts? I know if you're lying.
Are there ghosts? To the tiefling.
She nods her head gravely.
There are ghosts, at least 3.
At least 3 ghosts. That's a problem. What about devils? Which direction is it? I'm holding a hot pot and I'm afraid it's going to explode on me.
We don't know where you are, so we don't know which direction it is.
What direction are you in relation to the rest of the town?
We're near the bookstore.
Macklin, we're next door to the Slayer's Cake. Well, a street over, whatever. Off the.
My God, V, you are a lifesaver. Thank you. Lord, I'm not going to
Well,
do this
you know,
pot.
you might need to save my life with that conversation, and the proprietor's standing right next to them.
Oh, tell the proprietor. Who's the proprietor?
An old friend.
Oh, friends are good to have. I will make my way toward the Slayer's Cake, holding this
At least
fucking
if
pot
you
from
feel,
hell.
if you feel like a friend today, addressing.
Is V visibly bleeding?
V is not visibly bleeding.
You're not bleeding?
I'm about to be bleeding money. Do you have a problem?
We don't, but you said you had paper cuts.
Well, yes, but it's fine.
We didn't want you to be bleeding. We were just concerned.
There are spells called digitation that are meant to take care of the blood from paper cuts so that it doesn't get on the books.
Can we try to climb up the stacks of this kind of the shelf and sit next to V? Also, Ferg is here. Not Ferg. Wait, what's Ferg's dog? Sunbeam. Sunbeam is here.
They let a dog into the bookstore? It must be a very good dog.
He's the best.
So you are assuming Tab asked.
Tab did not ask. Sunbeam was out of the bracelet necklace and was with Tab canonically at the end of the dock play, and so is with Tab now.
Exactly.
It's okay. Sunbeam is a very good boy and just settles down on the floor underneath where V is sitting on a bookshelf facing like the bookshelf is the floor and where gravity is. Tab, roll me an acrobatics check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Tab has perched on the very edge of a shelf.
Can we pick up the nearest book?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't know if nearest is a concept that's meaningful here, but the first book
sure.
that our hand falls on once we're settled.
Roll me a D100.
52.
Okay.
Is that tearing like tears from eyes or tearing like ripping holes in things?
Read it and find out.
We'll hold up to V and ask the same question.
It's like ripping holes in things.
Ooh. So how many are you buying and which ones and why? Would you like this one
It
too?
entirely depends on what I find, how much they cost, and how much money I have for this.
Would you like us someone good at that today?
I beg your pardon?
I beg your pardon?
We peered down at the tiefling. He hasn't answered yet. We'll let you know. We look back at V.
He is currently hiding behind the latest book he has discovered.
So, Macklin, you arrive at the bookstore. I can't even put you all on this tiny little fucking bookstore. You arrive at the bookstore. You see a familiar tiefling behind the counter, looking amused as she watches this going on.
Ah,
And as you walk in, she just grins and shakes her head. And there we have the mama duck.
ah, yes. Well, sometimes foundlings have to learn to waddle on their own, and they're not getting into too much trouble. How's the cough?
Better.
Good. You look more red. A healthy shade of red. Glad to see you're above. I'd say above water, but it's above fire. Glad to see you've gotten out of hell.
Yes, I'm glad to see that the clasp is under new management.
Things are on the up and up, it would seem. At least until the war is over.
Well, welcome to the Mystic Quill.
Thank you.
Mystic Quill, that's got a good ring to it. Is this all Son Arcana, or...?
More or less.
Hmm.
Arcana and the adjacent.
He furrows his brows and nods a little bit, and takes a look around. Eventually finds his way under his ducklings.
Mm-hmm.
Do
you
we,
put the
can
little
we,
pot on one of on the counter?
I was just going to say, can we smell this pot he's carrying around, or is it
Seems
airtightly covered?
It seems pretty sealed.
Do I place it down? That's a good question. Can I set this here for a moment?
No, of course. Sure.
What do you have?
A gift for a friend.
Which one?
The new one. The one most recent. Well, they're an old friend, but they could use some comfort food.
Didn't say he was hungry.
I blinked several times. I don't know if we're talking about the same friend. The one with the gesture toward my face. Situation?
Can we tell that Macklins gestured to his face and not his eyes? We
Roll-
definitely think he means Jaws.
Roll an insight check.
Okay, let's see. Probably can. Let's. Yeah, 27.
Yeah.
Oh, thought someone else.
No.
Are you trying to poison them?
Oh, no. As it turns out, exposure to the Shadowfell makes it so that you cannot taste or smell food. So lots of spices are needed to achieve a level of comfort that is adequate.
That's
When
very
you-
strange, but very nice.
When you can taste nothing, fire is quite palatable.
I never want to run that experiment, but that's a very interesting thought.
I wonder if Feldrin would like this. I'm not offering. But
He
something to try out later.
Probably would. He likes fire. He might want to take a nap in it, or sleep in it, or
Right. Veldrin can do neither of those things.
dip his paws in it,
No, not that either.
back around, then walk
He's
on the
only
books.
little. You could probably just get him a bowl.
Once it gets to the person it's meant to go to, then perhaps she can decide to share if she wants to.
Should we get her some muffins as well?
I don't know if muffins would. Unless they're very, very spicy muffins. God, I suppose they actually do that at the Slayer's Cake. They're very talented. Let's just get this to her. That said, does anyone know where Cure is? Or Josin?
I mean, wherever the Empress is, shrugs, hang up, like, sitting sideways.
Oh, balls. I warned Cure not to go so soon. I hope she's taking the news well.
What
I
news?
mean, we've been here for more than an hour. Of course, stores wherever.
Oh, Tal'Doreis don't know how to leave things alone. I'm convinced of it now.
Weren't you listening?
Honestly, I kind of tune her out every so often.
That explains so much.
It's a terrible habit, I know. Right then, in that case, I suppose I should head in that direction instead. Perhaps Petra can help me out. Well, good luck with your books. Are you... I glance up at V and then at Cinder. You do know that it is generally frowned upon to read the books while in a bookstore. In a library,
I'm
it's
just
perfectly
reading for
fine.
what they are. I'm not, like, reading the whole book. That would... Yes,
That would be
be
stealing.
impolite. Like, a couple times.
Do you have enough gold?
I have no idea.
The 5
Yes.
gold apiece, all of them. Anything you find is 5 gold apiece.
Yes.
How many books are there in this
I
place?
continues
Like,
looking.
looking around, how like, do I have a...
It's a small bookstore, but it's wall to wall and it's pretty packed.
I don't think we have enough gold.
What are you even spending it on?
Books? No, you won't have enough gold. There's lots of books. So many books.
To buy the entire bookstore? No, but
How many have you put back so far?
none.
Exactly.
I'm feeling very judged right now.
We're not
You are
judging, we
very
just want you to
judged.
have all the books. We're not saying it's wrong, we just have been to bookstores with you before.
I spent like 20 gold.
We'll stay and help you carry them.
I am all set with carrying them.
Actually, I'm curious. Cinder,
Mhm.
can I tell, how did you come across so many books? Is there a new author in town?
No.
we
Fair enough.
turn, like, creep over to the back of the bookshelf and peer down at Cinder as well.
She just grins.
Do you happen to know if any of them are cursed?
No, I don't sell cursed books.
Oh, good.
So you know they aren't cursed, you just don't know if they are?
No, I check them before I sell them.
And there's still only 5 gold?
Yes?
That seems like a very good bargain.
Maybe he continues browsing.
She smiles at you.
Here,
You can
look there.
anyone who wants to can roll an insight check.
Sure.
Delightful.
Yes.
8, nope, dirty 20 again.
Mm.
What is my insight? What is this? 24.
2024. Okay. 21. The 3 of you are putting together that maybe that price is for you all.
Because we have friends.
Yeah, do
Okay.
us a favor, get us a
She's
favor.
not going to call you friends, but she is putting that price on these books for you all only.
There's a reason V asked if she felt like a friend today.
We'll look for another book then.
Okay. As you
What
look for
else?
another book, Cure and Jocelyn, you arrive back at the manor.
Oh, excellent.
I hate to be rude, but I got to tell you, I'm rather hungry. I'm rather tired. So, is there a place we can get some food?
Yes, Ilya kind of shrugs, and I didn't even cook it either, so it'll be edible. This way.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
She leads you through the manor to a smaller parlor area, kitchen. Not a kitchen, dining area. And she sits down. You see, shortly after, Petra brings out a bottle of wine and a bottle of water. And a basket of bread as they start working on some dinner for unexpected guests, but they can handle.
So, my party has failed to get caught up on the events that are happening, so it would be great if you tell me the stories.
All right.
I grab a hunk of bread and look over at Ilya. Do you feel it would be safe to have these discussions in the open, or should we move to the war room?
This place is grab-proof. I expanded the protections over the house.
Oh, thank the goddess. She stumbles a little bit when she says that.
Yeah, something like that. And she pours herself a glass of water and takes a sip. So, what has happened since you were gone? Were you here when I became sovereign? It's all starting to run together.
Jocelyn thinks to himself, yes, I believe it
Yes.
was.
Yes, you were here when I became sovereign.
After hell.
After hell. All right. Everything after hell. I pulled the troops that were supposed to help me retake my mother's homeland to Tal'Dorei and promised them a new homeland here in exchange for the service. And added them to our war force, and now we have a full-on refreshed army. I established a front, now fight against Vecna, and in expanding out our borders, I was able to make sure we had enough food for our entire populace for the winter. I mean, it seems like a lot has happened, but that's really all that I've done. I mean, that and the things with the girls.
Well,
and my family isn't talking to me. That's still a thing.
Yeah, so that hasn't changed.
Mm-mm.
They tend to go through that fit every once in a while, yes.
How many days has it been since we were last here?
Since
She thinks it's been a couple weeks.
Has Solda not come talk to you?
She did.
I'm nibbling on my bread as I'm watching Ilya.
It did not go well.
I let out a frustrated sigh over my bread.
Well, I guess you could tell that it didn't go well. You're not talking to them.
It was my fault. She had poor timing, and she caught me off guard.
I think we've all been there once or twice in our life. I'm sure if you made the effort towards talking to her, she might be willing to have a conversation.
We'll get there eventually.
Jocelyn starts eating bread a little bit more. He's kind of like picking pieces off and eating it.
As you do, plates are brought out. Plates are brought out, silverware, and a platter of some roast chicken, vegetables, and potatoes. It's simple, but smells good.
Jocelyn does his best not to just like start cramming stuff in his mouth, but is able to put small pieces of the dish in front of him and eat it a little bit at a time. So yeah, we got Talia back. So we did that thing. That was, of course, after Vecna found out that I was actually alive and put a curse on her, or, started controlling her mind, as he does with people. She may or may not have possibly given up all of the secrets that she knew.
Hmm.
Jocelyn takes some vegetables and eats it like he didn't even say anything.
That's a summation of events.
But the good news is we got her back, and I think that is the most important thing that we take from this situation.
Yes, I'm sure she'll be a vital source of information, and I know she wants to help out as much as she can. But when we spoke, I reinforced the notion that for her particular situation, it would probably be better for her to be sidelined and help things out more quietly than loudly. Unless you have a better idea.
Lilia shakes her head. No, I think it would be best, at least for a little bit, to get an idea of, let her rest a little bit. Can't imagine last little bit, however long has been that she was mind controlled, has been easy, and see where we are from there. How much control Vecna still has over her.
Kyora's nodding as she says this. My thoughts exactly.
I think I prefer it that way myself.
Prefer her what?
He said, I think I prefer it that way as well. Agree with the statement. In other words.
Unfortunately, there are people in and out of this place all of the time. It would be hard to keep her under wraps and controlled. I believe Odin's apartment is still empty. I can get furnishings in it fairly quickly.
I think that's an idea.
That should be a good size, and it's still in the city, and it's scrap-proof.
Nice to have that confirmed, at least. There was one other thing. And I'll look over at Josen. What did you find out from Tab?
There's nothing to worry about with that.
What caused it? Why are they registering as,
There's reasons behind it, but there's nothing to fret. Nothing has really changed with the situation.
That is a very ambiguous non-answer.
It's what I do best, Q. There's just nothing to worry about. Tab is still Tab. Tab is who they are. And nothing has changed about them, besides the fact they don't want to be 15 years old anymore. That is a situation I think we should handle as well. I think that is also important.
So they don't want to be 15, but they have no qualms about being undead.
They themselves are not undead. It's a long story, but I can assure you there's nothing wrong. It's timing and circumstance.
Kior weighs this over a piece of bread.
There are
I'm gonna try
things.
to insight check Josen.
Okay.
$25.
I mean,
Primarily looking, just to give you an idea, to assess whether he's... Well, I know he's trying to just put things at ease, but she's mostly looking for how truthful he's being, or if he doesn't know and is just saying things to keep her from asking more questions.
he's holding back something, but he's being truthful at the same time. He's not lying to you. Let's put it that way.
Kior just quietly chews her bread.
So anyways, as I was saying, there's nothing to worry about that situation. I think the more important things is that if there is a way to relieve Cure of their age,
I beg your pardon?
relieve.
Not that I'm complaining, mind you.
Sorry,
I
Tab.
am. I'm already getting older than you.
I mean, I can try to do something about that too, but that's going to take me a lot longer of research to figure out. Tab's situation might be a little bit simpler, but I am certainly going to need rest before I can attempt anything to help.
I think we could all use rests right now.
That I can agree with. And we have a job to do as much as we don't want to do it. Well, you know what I mean, but we all want to very much end the burden that has plagued this world, but I think the sooner we get to that matter, the sooner is better.
You're starting to ramble. I think you really are tired.
I am beyond tired, Kara. You have no idea. The point of the matter is I think we should get our job done sooner rather than later.
I wholeheartedly agree. I still have a splitting headache from earlier. I am somewhat concerned. Something was done to me that affected my mind. I don't know how to defend myself against that again.
Well, all I can say, Kior, is I would probably try to keep me within close distance of you.
That's a fair point.
Let's...
Hopefully it works out better this time.
Yes, I definitely agree with that, but we were kind of taken by surprise. More caution, I guess. Moving forward.
I think this is as good a place to rest as any.
Yes, I agree.
At least it's safe.
Jocelyn will put his fork and his knife down, kind of wipe off his face, and stand up. I think Ilya, I don't know who do I talk to about maybe getting a room.
Just ask Petra. He'll lead you to one of the rooms.
Fantastic. Then I think I will leave you two fine ladies to yourself, and I will be going to get some rest.
Okay. And you head out. You find Petra there, kind of around, bustling a little bit. Easy enough. They lead you upstairs to one of the bedrooms.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate everything.
Roll me perception hearing.
That is 1 second. Perception, hearing. That is a 9.
19?
Yeah.
Okay. You faintly hear the sound of someone singing a hymn in Celestial.
A hymn in Celestial.
Mhm.
Though that language I'm familiar with, I do not know it. But may I ask, what is that beautiful tune coming from your hum?
It's actually Petra. It's not Petra. Petra's left. It's someone else in the house.
Why is there some? Well, now I gotta go investigate this. I'm hearing a hum.
I wonder Jasmine's always tired.
What? Who is humming? Is that old guy that's finding the fucking noise? You need to shut up now. I am trying to rest.
There's some kid on his lawn humming.
Now, instead of a shotgun, Jocelyn would have a fireball. So, get off my lawn! Jocelyn's gonna search out the hum.
You find that you're in a room. Your room is it's coming from the room next to yours.
He's gonna knock on the door.
The singing stops. Yes.
What is that beautiful tune that you are humming?
The Rites of Atonement.
The Rites of Atonement. Fantastic. And then he's gonna go into his room. Now shut up and lay down and go to sleep.
Oh my god. He really is a grandpa.
Yeah. It takes about 20 seconds before Talia restarts the Rites of Atonement. Oh man.
It's been a day for everyone.
Everyone's starting to get real grumpy. So
Cure is going to grab a glass to pour some wine into for herself.
Mhm.
Did Ilya pour some for herself?
She did not. She poured herself water.
Cure will then sit down and sip at her drink. Sometimes I wonder if my companions actually trust me.
Oh?
I do not have the mental faculties to contemplate that at the moment, though.
Alright.
How was your day?
Honestly, I'm a little bit out of it. I got thrown from my horse, and I'm pretty sure I have a concussion.
I'll motion for her to lean forward.
She does.
I lean over and 2 fingers on her forehead and give her 10 hit points.
Sure. Oh, that feels better.
Kiora actually smiles. If only all problems could be solved so simply.
Well, which problems are we struggling with right now?
Divine ones, I don't think you want to dip your toes into.
No, your relationship with her is between you and her.
I give her a very tired thumbs up and sip at my wine.
I will only encourage bad behavior in that respect.
Oh, I know you would. I'm also concerned about Tab, regardless of what Josen says.
Well, some things you have to just wait and see on. I know it's not a great answer, but just be wary, watch, listen, keep an eye out for changes. If they're the undead you need to worry about, they'll start biting people. Probably soon.
Truth told, I'm only marginally concerned that they're the undead that bites people. I'm more concerned about what the effect might have on them. I think vigilance is a good idea, but I think the others assume I am prepared to execute Tab, rather than simply being concerned for their well-being.
It's the paladin thing.
That was a conclusion I was coming to. It's useful to have a terrifying reputation. It's annoying as well.
Yes, it really, really is.
Kiora flashes a smirk at her, knowing full well that Ilya would latch onto it. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about what you've been going through lately?
I mean, it's genuinely been the same old, same old. Not much has changed. Fought a couple battles, but mostly stalemates.
Kiora will nod and sip at her wine and encourage her a little more, just so they have some chit chat in the kitchen.
Okay. In that case, I will cut back to the rogue trio. I believe.
Been looking for another book.
Yeah, you're gonna roll me another D100, please.
Or if we can get our cursor back
I
to
also
there we
want
go.
another book.
Roll me another D100.
30.
You find with that 30 10 basic shields, a revolutionary way to categorize adjurations.
79.
79.
we sigh, put the book down, and scramble back down to the ground floor.
Probing transport and structure property relationship of highly ordered orgone supertoms lattices at the ethereal material planar limit.
Living in a material world. We scramble down the shelf and poke our head around to look at the tiefling. We didn't really take anything.
I believe you.
Good, because it's true. We'll back up and look up at V. Are you coming or are you staying?
V walks down the bookshelf. Did Tab take their books with them when they?
No. Tab has had enough of magic theory craft, and has left both books where they are. Would have set them down in V's line of sight. So, like
Yeah,
they would have
V's
made
is going
sure
to
that he
pick
was
those
aware.
up on his way down. So, I believe that is 6 total. I think.
Yes.
Okay, so V's going to bring this over to Cinder and has chosen
How many shields do you need?
all of them. There was a damn dragon.
Can you
Cinder.
use more than one at a time?
Okay, so that is going to cost me a ridiculously small amount of gold, which we greatly appreciate. 6 books at 5 gold apiece.
Mhm.
I can math. That's 30.
Yep, 30 gold.
So I should probably actually invest in armor. Like inspecting the shield spellbook.
We recommend it. Go to the place where we got ours. We can't remember which place it was, but it was here somewhere.
Wasn't it Almika's magic shop? Well, the other
Probably,
one
but
she
I don't
works at.
remember. Maybe.
Do we have time to do that now, Macklin, or
What time is it?
It's drawing about 7 o'clock. It's getting late.
Well, it is drawing rather late. The alcove should be open for a while longer. We still don't know whether or not Jalzin and Cure are back. Speaking of, I will test the mic one more time. Check the wristlet. And Cure, Jalzin, all right, if you're back in town.
Would that have happened during our conversation with Ilya?
It happened after, probably right at the tail end, right as Jocelyn was heading down to sleep at the second time.
Excuse me, Ilya. We're at the manor.
Oh, fantastic news then. What time did you plan on taking a long rest, and what time were you planning on leaving?
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible. Okie dokie. I'll lower the wristlet and look back to V and Tab. Well, you have a few just minutes. I'm kidding. They plan to rest as soon as possible. Ideally, head out as close to 8 hours from now as we can. I still have to deliver this, and I suppose after this you'll have time to visit the alcove.
What's the weather like, Heather? Can we
It's
tell what it's like tonight?
kind of cold. There's a dampness in the air.
That's annoying. But fair.
I am going to unloop my coin purse and hold it at the tab. You'll be going to Almega, yes? If you can find anything useful, need additional funds, there's about 500 gold in here.
Giving us 500 gold.
I'm not giving it to you. I'm saying if there's something that might benefit the team, you may use some of this to get it. Perhaps both you and V consult each other.
Giving us 500 gold to buy things for the team.
I squint slowly
On purpose.
and sigh. Yes, because I trust you.
We're just sort of staring at him, like a little bit open-mouthed. Insight check.
What are you trying to insight?
25. What's going on here? Like, what is the like generalized vibe check?
Just a vibe check?
Yeah, like not. We don't doubt that he's offering us the money, but like it feels like there's a
Why?
catch. So we're looking for we're looking for what's the catch, or
You
is there a
get
catch?
the impression that he wants to go to the alcove, but has to deliver that pot of nuclear food before it reaches its half-life.
Still like sort of open mouthed for a minute. We'll poke the pot very gently, like not jostling it, just like boop.
Do not rub your eyes now that you've did it.
Do you want us to take that? And then we don't have to think about whether we would make the right decision with your 500 gold.
Well, no, I think you were perfectly capable of tab over. Well, I suppose if you don't think you're up to the task, then I could just go on my own at a different time. It's fine. I've never known you to turn down a challenge, but I suppose we should all know Ellen.
We could take that for you.
The pot or the pouch?
The pot. I was offering to deliver the pot so that Macklin is free of that obligation.
I could, but I did say that I would be the one who delivered it. It wouldn't be a promise if I didn't keep it.
Who did you tell?
Tell whom? Tell what?
Promise.
A promise? Oh, my friend Ava.
Your friend Ava?
Yes, they're rather quite fond of our friend, and I make the gesture to my face again. They wanted to ensure that I have the whole boat. So I said I would. And so I shall.
Your delivery for your friend? We'll swipe the coin pouch out of his hand. And start trotting off in the direction of not like just sort of like, okay, we see what's going on here.
You already went and saw Ava, didn't you?
Trot towards the alcove.
Mm-hmm.
Odd exchange, but I will watch Tab go and chuckle and make my way toward the manor.
He will follow after Tab. muttering under his breath about how, of course, Macklin has already gone to see Ava. It's like, he had other things for her or anything.
I said I was going.
Yes, but you didn't say you're going this early.
We could go see Ava too. Would you rather go see Ava than go to the alcove?
He looks down the street after Macklin. Sure, let's do that.
Then we redirect and head towards the boarding house, I guess.
Sure. Macklin
Guess what?
gets just enough of a head start to get to the manor.
We made sure that happened.
Yeah,
Just when I
absolutely.
thought I was free of the ducklings, they're following me again.
All right.
And I'll see if I can't find Petra.
Okay. Are you just walking in or are you knocking?
I will knock.
Okay. You knock at the door and Petra answers.
Ah, just the man I wanted to see. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. You didn't happen to come across any strange newcomers today, have you?
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Nat 20. For a total of 33.
He blinks at you and nods. We have a few guests, if that's what you're asking.
He nods. Perhaps one that Cure has brought. Yeah.
He stares at you and does not neither shakes his head or nods.
I have an offering, really, to deliver unto them. Is it possible that you might direct me to their location?
Why don't you wait in the kitchen?
Certainly.
So he shows you into where Cure and Ilya are recounting their days.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening, Macklin.
And your
Okay.
Highness.
Hello, Macklin.
I'll just place the pot down and dust my hands of it.
What is that? And Ilya, not thinking, just takes the lid and lifts it.
Oh, no, 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 no!
Immediately just puts it back. My gods, what is that?
The scent of regret, I believe. That is a very, 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 very spicy dish for an extremely bland palate.
Huh.
It would seem that the longer you spend in the Shadowfell, the worse you can taste food. Yeah, the senses are dull.
Hmm.
In this context, it certainly is not.
All right. I will take your word for it. I doubt you would try to poison my daughter in such an obvious way.
Oh, please, if I wanted her dead, I'd. Of course it's not poison. I appreciate your trust.
Now I'm just eyeing that bowl.
Yeah, so it smelled like burning. It smelled like you got maced in the face.
Be careful not to touch your eyes or nose after taking that lid off, by the by.
Is Petra still here?
No, he left.
I just nod slightly.
Has the pot gotten cold?
It is not.
It is not. Okay, so I don't take up the one with digitation just yet.
She's getting cleaned up right now.
Ah, good, good. How did your chat with her go?
Good. It was productive.
That's good. Where has Josin gone off to?
Bed.
Oh, it's only... Oh, right. He's ancient. Did he have anything to say about,
Deliberately not.
Right. Shoot, I should have told him. Drat. So the whole age thing, that might become permanent if nothing is done about it. Might. It's not for certain, but some curses, apparently, if they're not removed, stick. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. I'll just tell Tab in the morning when we have the capacity to remove the curse.
I think you should deliver that news to him as soon as possible in case there's something he can do tonight. After all, things with apparent benefits could become detriments in the long run, then something ought to be done about it.
I would just like to interject here that since I know that you don't want to be fireballed, we do have clerics in the city, and you might not want to wake up Jocelyn and waste the spell slot.
He's going to sleep. He would get it back.
Right. Clerics. There are 2 clerics in town. Do you happen to know if Hunan is in town? Or is he still at the war camp?
No, Yuri is at the war camp and Hunan stays in town.
Right, the younger. Got it. I think Tab and Yuri have a decent rapport. Right then, I'll leave you to talk or drink. Enjoy your meal. Do make sure that she eats that, though I did promise that I'd deliver that to her.
Certainly, Macklin. Thank you for bringing it. It was very thoughtful.
He nods his head and proceeds to make his way out of the kitchen. To her. Once in the hall, he'll bring the wrist bracelet to his mouth. Tab, are you still in range? Can you hear me?
Are we, I assume we're still, we're definitely still in
Yeah,
range.
yeah.
Is this before we've gotten to Ava's house, or we're walking?
You are walking in.
We can hear you with alcove, almost.
Oh, good. Near the alcove, so you should be just a spit away from the Temple of Saturday. So listen, don't freak out. Promise me that. Don't freak out, okay?
We aren't sure we can promise you that. We don't freak out much, but so we don't know why you would say that, but why, if you're telling us not to freak out, what are you about to say?
Well, no, you seemed a little rattled earlier, and I thought maybe perhaps it would not be a good idea to alert you too much since you were so...
Do you mean the part where everyone was looking at us like we were going to be killed? And then saying we were already dead, and then also looking at us like we were going to be killed?
Well,
Cure sighs as she listens to this.
this isn't hallway. This is like...
They all have a communicator.
Oh, shit.
Open channel.
Was the sigh audible, or was that not with intent?
No, Cure's keeping it to herself this time.
Delightful.
Really, it was more concern. I thought perhaps something terrible was happening to you. Not that something terrible was going to happen to you. That's not the point. Your current age, the situation, you may want to see a cleric about that as soon as possible. I meant to bring this up earlier, but it completely slipped my mind. What with all those books and V sitting on a wall of books? Some curses can become permanent if you don't do something about them. I think your age might be a curse.
Interesting. We told Jasmine we wanted to fix it, but we don't know how to do that.
Right, and I believe Josen has already fallen asleep. There
We
are
should get
clerics in
Ferg back.
town. Ferg. I believe Ferg is still in the Feywild. Ferg could most certainly do it, yes, but there are other clerics in town that may be able to aid you. I'm told that Uriel is in town, young Uriel. He works out of the Temple of Saturday. If you're by the alcove, then you should be just a spit away from there. Do you remember how to get there?
To where?
The Temple of Saturday. Had Coco. With Uriel. Blue skin, very kind disposition. Certainly remember.
We probably weren't paying attention.
How can you not pay
I
attention to Coco? It's delightful.
We
You
were
remember the tea cakes?
counting
not
the
the cocoa.
marshmallows.
Cure has like stopped talking to Ilya and just kind of like leaned her head over onto a hand and is just meeting Ilya's eyes. You'll have to forgive me. I think this is going to take a while.
Ilya just nods at you.
I believe.
Yeah, you're waking up to this.
Josen wakes up. My God, Macklin, when it comes to subtlety, you are the worst person to ever deliver any bad news to any person in this entire world.
Well, I'm not a cleric. So why are you up so early? You're a human, don't you need 8 hours?
I am not a...
You're what then? If you're not a
We
human, then
just
what are
woke
you?
him up.
Almost got him.
Tab,
Josen's awake now.
just
incidentally.
stay where you are. I will be there. My God, Macklin, I swear. And you can just hear as the muttering goes away.
I tried to get him to go to the cocoa place.
All I wanted to do was sleep, and no one in this world will let an old man sleep.
Is this over the bracelet again, or is
No,
this
God,
just...
no.
Okay. Okay.
This is just him bitching.
I thought, just making sure.
Probably
With that, I'll be heading to my room.
Macklin, as you head to your room, you hear Macklin, I need your help, please.
Oh boy.
From where?
From the door of Ilya's room.
I will sidle up to it and check the door for a lock. Very quietly.
It has one, but it's unlocked.
Okay. And creak it open. Perception check. Is it a bloodbath in there?
No. You see you're in a small antechamber. Alina is standing there. She's wrapped in a towel. She's decent enough. She's looking at clothes that have been set out and staring at them intently.
I closed the door behind me sheepishly and hearing grousing from elsewhere from some unknown grumpy man, muffled, I presume.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is the
Petra was kind enough to set out clothes for me. I can't tell which of these are actually black.
What? You can't tell what's black. Have you gone colorblind?
Yes, basically.
Oh, good God. Oh, there's food for you in the kitchen. Mother's here, by the way. Which one's black? I looked them over. Are any of them black?
Yeah. There's most of them. There's some dark greens. Nothing is unreasonably colored, but there is a set of black clothes.
Well, this one is actually black. Is black your color? You certainly want to wear black.
Yes.
Very well. Well, this is that pair. Oh, that's quite awful. Let us see.
It's not that bad. It's fine once I get my own clothes.
While you're readjusting, we're not going to be able to stay around for a while. Would you benefit for having someone around to aid you?
I was thinking of asking Ghost. With my return, she will be currently out of a job, so.
Out of a job? I don't understand. I thought she was working for the war effort.
She was.
Was she working against you, specifically?
No, she was working with me specifically.
Oh! Oh, you're from the other side. It makes perfect sense now. Right then. Yeah, Ghost will certainly be able to help you then. Is there anything else you need?
No, thank you. Just needed someone who could see color and honestly, not Jocelyn.
He's rather tired and rather grumpy.
I can hear it.
I'll just
Where?
throw this out there. I'm sorry, but the voice in the back of your head comes in and says, "And he's fucking blind."
Wow.
I'm not sure what's going on now, but Josen's even more irritated.
Okay, that happened.
That just happened. We have fun here.
Oh, sorry, you guys broke me.
He's quite grumpy and rather
Ilya's
quite
being
blind.
like, Johnson, what color are these? And Johnson, you don't fucking know.
He
But he just
would
feel it.
do. You'd wake him up, he'd go in. She'd be like, "What color is this?" And he'd be like, "Are you fucking serious right now? You're fucking serious? Did you just really just ask me that?"
Let me just cast divination at 6th level so I can just god.
Yeah, let me commune real quick. Just give me a second.
His tunic is red.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah. I'll get better, I promise. Anyway.
Never change.
Oh my God.
This is why Kior finishes her homework early, so she can enjoy listening to all this for the rest of the day.
Oh boy.
So Tab and V and Cure, you have no clue what made that happen. But in one of the angriest voices you've heard from Johnson, you just hear, "And I'm fucking blind."
Yep. Kior promptly reported it to Ilya.
Ilya just shrugs.
He's not wrong.
He hadn't left yet. He was still getting his shit on and could hear it through the fucking wall. He's like,
Yeah.
"And I'm fucking blind, you idiots."
We look at V and shrug.
Someone probably asked him to look for something again.
Right, well, I'm off to go lock my door. Have a wonderful evening. Let's try to have a relaxing one at that.
Thank you, Macklin.
He nods, and it's good to have you back. Take care. And makes his way out.
All right.
We're gonna after a moment's thought, the bracelet to our mouth. Jocelyn?
Yes, Tab.
Did someone forget
Forget what?
that you're blind?
Everybody always forgets I'm blind, Tab.
We'll probably forget again. We'll say we're sorry now. And when we
Don't
forget again.
don't worry, Tab. I'll be more than happy to remind you when the time comes.
Good night.
I'm coming to you, Tab. I'm going to help you get cured of your ailment. I promise you that. I will do that.
All right, we're at the boarding house.
I'll be
This is
there.
over the mic.
Stress.
I'll be there in a dozen minute. That's roughly about an hour.
Is that longer or shorter than a Macklin?
I don't know. He walks rather slow because he has. Never mind.
We head into the boarding house.
Cure has just been repeating everything verbatim for Ilya's amusement.
Boarding house.
Ilya just laughs and shakes her head.
And this is how the radio was invented.
You know, maybe I should have made one of those for me so that when I was in town I could just listen in.
I would feel more guilty about invading our privacy, but then again, it is an open channel.
All right, so V and Tab, you make your way to the boarding house, heading downstairs.
We have no other place that we want to go. So if that was where V was headed, then
Yes, V's got to remember to actually hand Ava things that he has found that he thought, oh, Ava could do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
And keeps failing because I'm pretty sure I have stuff in my inventory from Ava like before hell. Well, maybe after hell, but you get the idea.
Yeah, she blinks at you as you knock. All right, not my normal customers. Come in.
Hi.
quick out of character note. Hey V, do you still have that book of Ava's that we gave you way back whenever that was?
Do you think I'm in the habit of losing books?
Do you know remember what book it was? Because I sure don't. I guess we'll find out together. Okay.
Frostbound Manual of the Dragon Soul.
Yeah, sure was. Okay. Then as we step in as we head down towards Ava's spot, then we lean in towards the stopping just short of what we think is his personal space, which is probably like slightly closer than his actual personal space barrier, but not like we're definitely not touching him. Like we're not getting right up in his face or anything because we know better. Do you still have the dragon book?
Yes.
Because it's hers.
Ah.
We will exchange it for something else, but we did promise to bring it back. So we don't want to get killed here if we're going to get killed later.
Well, apparently I have 2 books for you.
We straighten up.
So, I am going to out the Frostbound Manual of the Dragon Souls. This one is apparently yours.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I had one near V's, like, digging through his bag of holding, looking for this other book.
Can we pick another now that we've brought that one back?
You can.
Then we go to the shelves and begin scanning for something else.
I know I had one in here, and it was going to be... It was something that I can't work in. It's just I'm not there yet.
Was it the Dunamancy book?
I'm seeing all sorts of other things and having the darndest time finding the one that actually had the note about giving it to Ava. I saw it not 10 minutes ago.
Is it on D&D Beyond?
No. V's
Is it on
list of books
Roll20?
is too long. It's in like a word. It's in Google Docs. So, alchemic recipes, potion of madness. So I may have already brought that one to Ava, but if not, I'll hand it over.
Okay, she'll take it.
Oh, right. And then I give. So I have the poisonous mushrooms that I found in the cave of the Feywild.
She takes them and looks them over. Not poisonous. Will make you glow and will make you see things.
So could be really cool potion ingredients for absolutely wacky experiments.
She's gonna roll an insight check on you. Yes, something like that. And she moves them off to the side.
And then we ended up with these, and I'm not quite sure if I can do anything with them. And I have the 11 Vecna stamp platinum pieces that we picked up from the red caps.
Yes, so I will take these and I will give you 10 platinum back and I will keep these.
Excellent plan, because I really wanted to spend them in Whitestone.
We fish in our pocket and out the 20 platinum Vecna points. And we'll sneak them, let's see, 25 sleight of hand to push them into V's hand without Ava seeing.
And I have a few more. And he like pulls them out of the bag, quote unquote.
You all are going to wipe out my entire savings.
Well, you don't have to take them all at once, but
Here, she trades them. She trades the 20 for 18.
okay. So B gets 10. Tab gets 18.
Delightful.
So
Um,
keep us in weird things, buying random purchases money. Macklin doesn't know about it. No one will know.
What Macklin doesn't know won't kill him.
we're going to fish in our bag and pull out the by now probably slightly bedraggled bouquet of flowers that they're from the Feywild. I don't remember where we got them. It was somewhere. It was before the Vistani camp, but after the Coin of Polymorph. Were the Naiads handing out flower bouquets?
Wasn't it the mermaids?
Okay. Anyway, we fish out a slightly
not actually
bedraggled
mermaids, but yeah.
bouquet of flowers, of Feywild flowers, and set it down next to the mushrooms. What are these?
Look like some very healthy forget-me-nots.
Did they do anything? Were they just pretty?
They are just pretty.
We scoop them back up, and separate one and tuck it behind V's ear real quick, and then put the rest of the bouquet back in our bag. Thank you. Can we have a room for the night? Not we, just us. And we gesture at ourselves, making clear that we mean us, and that we're not asking to shack up with V necessarily.
Yeah, top floor is unoccupied at the moment. How about?
Thank you. Did we find any books? We were looking for books.
Yeah.
Also,
sure.
Sunbeam is here. If she cares about that.
She does seem to be watching Sunbeam, like more like don't lick anything you're not supposed to, but Sunbeam is a very good dog and is just kind of sitting on your feet.
Also, we definitely definitely pick up sticks as we go, so we always have a stick to put in his mouth if he seems like he wants to sniff or lick something that he shouldn't be. We give him something else to do.
You find this, which I'm sure that Tab would enjoy. Rags to Riches.
Oh yeah, that sounds much more up our alley. Pick it up and immediately start paging through it. This looks very good. We hold it up so V can see, but we're not handing it to him.
Peers.
I will keep in mind that you're a fan of travelogues.
We like Tell very much.
She blinks slowly at you.
They really did.
There was tea. There was a pudding. There weren't many fish.
Yeah,
I've
the
been
fish were here.
up for a little bit. You know, I've been up for a little bit. Jocelyn, this is about when you reach the boarding house that has been described.
Tab, are you here? Tab.
Jocelyn get into the boarding house without.
Jocelyn goes wherever the fuck he wants.
Jocelyn goes wherever the fuck he wants.
Delightful.
There's not even a knock on the door. Just Jocelyn just walks in.
Jocelyn walks into every house like he owns it in this place.
Tab.
We're down here.
Jocelyn
Macklin's friend.
goes downstairs.
How do you know Macklin?
Are you asking Ava?
Sure are.
Well, you see, a long time ago, probably a few months ago, I met him. We were on an airship, and we got off it at some town. I mean, I can't even remember. It was so long ago now. And there he was, standing there.
Thank you.
Hair waving in the air. Eyes twinkling from the sunlight. And we knew he was the one.
Thank you very much. And then we get to Ava. Was that like your Oh no.
Ava just arches an eyebrow at you lot. It's like, we're co-workers, you can say.
Is that what you call it?
Yep.
We look at Jocelyn.
Well, we have to go take her.
Yeah, we gotta go remove a curse. I had to, for some reason, wake up for this. We'll be
Okay, I'm
back.
going to make some drugs. Have a good evening.
Make sure they're good
Have a good
ones.
evening.
Make sure they're approved by Whitestone's version of, Let's go, Tab.
Where are we going?
No. The appropriate response is yes. Great. We heard nothing. We know nothing. We'll tell no one.
What are you talking about?
Exactly.
We're gonna head to the Temple of Sarenrae.
Alright, so you guys are just heading to the Temple of Sarenrae.
Yep.
I guess so.
Jocelyn in the lead. Hopefully that just mumbling to himself, bitching and complaining. He's saying things like, "Oh, they probably moved that on me too. I wouldn't be surprised."
There's a bookshop now.
The only reason that he's going to the Temple of Sarenrae is because it's closer. I'll have this. Too damn tired to cast the damn spells on my own. Y'all.
Why did you get up if you're just going to where Macklin said we should go? We don't mind. We're happy to see you. Just wondering.
Because I made a promise, and Jocelyn always keeps his promises.
That's really impressive, actually.
You're all being very intense about this tonight. Macklin had promised on some soup. We don't know if it was soup. It was covered.
I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's all right. Neither do we. Macklin didn't tell us. He just told us it was dangerous. I think.
So at the manor,
Sorry.
Talia heads downstairs to the small dining area that Kior and Ilya are in. Looking at you both tiredly. Yeah.
That also
Feeling
seems to be the
refreshed?
theme. Tired.
A little bit.
I'm glad to hear that.
I didn't think to cover the mirrors here, though, so I had a little bit of a couple of interruptions. Nothing major.
Kiora cocks her head to the side.
You see her sit down. And she kind of looks at the food on the table and shakes her head.
I believe that was brought to you, for you.
Oh?
We received many warnings about it.
And she takes it, looks it over, opens it, and grins a little bit. I see Ava knows I'm in town.
Apparently, word travels fast.
We weren't exactly subtle. And you see her just start eating it like it's normal.
Kior watches and pours herself another cup of wine. She looks between Talia and Ilya. Looks at Ilya to try and get an idea of what she's thinking.
Roll an insight check with advantage.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. Ilya is happy. She's clearly happy about the situation. She's also being careful and guarded.
That's par for the course.
Also, and with that natural 20, both careful of being too much and overpowering, which might be an instinct of hers, but also careful because, obvious reasons. So there's more than just the obvious reasons.
Kira's actually kind of reassured by what she sees. I've learned that this entire mansion is scry-proof, so we're all free to talk here. Although given the day I think we've all had, it's probably best to save all the serious conversation for another time.
It's probably been about 3 days, now that I think about it.
3 days?
Since the gas.
Kior blinks several times. She seems to have a hard time comprehending that.
Mhm.
Like she feels there's time dilation effects. Her head is hurting and she's too tired to make sense of any of it. Were you aware the whole time?
Up until the last few minutes, yes.
That sounds terrible.
She just nods. Ilya kind of looks her over. I think Ghost was your handler. Do you think that she would be appropriate to put you up with? And Talia nods. Yes, I think that would be fine. Leah nods.
Kior sets her glass down, gets up and moves over to Talia and just hugs her from behind.
Talia blinks a little bit.
I'm going to be giving you one of these very frequently. Whenever I see you in the coming days. Don't know when that will be or where we'll be, but you can expect.
Thank you, Mother. I appreciate it.
I look over at Ilya and arch an eyebrow at her.
Ilya smiles at you.
I give her like a come hither tilt of my head.
Ilya stands. I smell like horse and fine. And she comes over and gives you both a hug.
Out of the three of us, Talia is the only one that smells remotely pleasant. And that's only because she had a chance to wash all the blood off. I don't think any of us minds the smell of horses.
Talia laughs. No. Besides, my sense of smell is basically obliterated anyway, so.
You're lucky. Anyway, I think I need to get cleaned up and get some sleep and... Oh God, there's that damn book to read.
You started reading that book.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know there was a spell on it, and then it just happened.
You see Ilya and Talia just kind of shake their heads in unison.
I needed something that would lull me to sleep, so I cracked the book open, and I've been spending every damned minute I can trying to read the damn thing.
Because it only works every little bit. Alright. Best of luck. Be up in a little
I
bit.
need it.
Talia and I need to have a couple conversations.
Kior nods, gives Ilya a kiss, kisses Talia on the top of her head. Does a quick muss of her hair and then goes to head out.
And much like Ilya has done with you several times, you see her pull up a chair close to Talia and them kind of bow their heads and start to have a quiet conversation.
I linger just a moment in the doorway, looking over my shoulder at them, smile a little bit, then head out.
Okay. Macklin, you going to bed or are you staying up? You one-man party in your room?
One-man party? Yeah, I need to get Tab alone for what I wanted to do, so I'll go to bed.
Okay.
Catch them later.
All right. So our 3 night owls head to the Temple of Sarenrae.
One of them doesn't want to be a night owl.
They're night owls. It's what, 8:30? 8:30?
Yeah.
You all, this is, you realize this is like 3 hours past my bedtime.
Well, no, I didn't realize that.
Neither did we.
How early do you sleep?
Well,
What time do you get up?
early in the morning. First sunlight to every morning.
What is sleeping like? We don't remember.
Peaceful. Sometimes.
Yeah, I've never done it.
Why are so many things peaceful with you? Why do you, what is, don't you get bored?
No, I enjoy peace.
Not that much. You're still here with us.
Well, sometimes you just have to sacrifice things for others.
Like your sleep. All right, in we go. Or
Yeah.
why are we going in?
Because we're gonna cure you. We're gonna cure you.
How?
I don't know. Figure it out.
How do you know it's here?
Because there's clerics in here, and clerics tend to have the answers for these types of things.
You head into the Temple of Sarenrae. It's pretty quiet.
What time do clerics go to bed?
Early,
That's a very good point.
like me.
As you ask this, Tab, a gentleman, probably, I don't know, 30, I think. How old are you, Cure?
Oh boy.
That's a complicated question.
In his a gentleman in his late 20s. How about that?
28.
Yeah. Okay. So approaches you all. He's in. It looks like he was definitely wearing proper vestments, but he seems to have shed some of the outer robes and is in, his shirt sleeves rolled up. Good evening.
Good evening. I am Joslin. This is my
Yes. Hello, Joslin. It's Hunan.
Hunan. I knew I recognized that voice. Jeez. So we've kind of run into a predicament, and he kind of motions his hand over to V, thinking he's motioning over to Tab, and he goes, "Tab has what? What are you talking about?"
We're over here.
Oh, over here, and he motions over in that direction. As you can see, Tab has, how do you say, dropped in age, and
The word is young.
we have a feeling that it might be a curse of some sort. Now, I, myself, as a professional, would be able to assist Tab, but we kind of ran into a predicament, and I just don't have the energy to resolve the issue. If you know it.
We're not supposed to be 15, and no one takes us seriously anyway, so we thought it wasn't helping anymore. Although it has been interesting, so if you can't fix it, then that's all right too.
I can fix it, yes. If you want it fixed, I can fix it.
Might as well.
All right then. He kind of smiles at you.
What else can you do?
Oh, all sorts of things. Can make light. Can heal people. Can play a lot of funny tricks on my sister.
Like what?
I can ruffle her hair from very far away.
Do we have? I'm trying to remember. Do we know who his sister is?
I think so, yeah. You've met Hunan before.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, Coco.
Coco.
It's all coming
You
back.
gave-
He's
you
blue.
gave
He's blue,
Hunan a
isn't he?
chicken.
It's all coming back
Yes.
to us
He's
now.
blue,
Oh!
you gave him a chicken.
Oh! We gave him a chicken. Right. How's Mark?
Good. She's producing a lot of eggs, and I believe that there was just recently a batch of chocolate chip cookies made from her eggs that were delicious, I am told.
We weren't sure where we thought that was to go, but that wasn't. It ended up in a. It made more sense than we thought it would in the middle. We would like to not be 15, please.
Of course. He smiles at you. He rests his hands on your shoulder, and you feel kind of a warm light up your neck and in through your head. And your clothes fit
we
better.
Get a little wiggly. It feels weird.
Yeah,
Jaws
clothes
and
fit better, and your boots aren't loose anymore. As he
They're
lifts his
probably a
hands.
little tight now since we had double
Tightened
tripled up
them,
our
yeah.
socks. We will drop to the ground and start fixing our boots.
Jaws leans over at V. Is Tab cured, V?
They seem to have returned to a.
Oh, fantastic. Hunan, it's been a pleasure. We certainly need to catch up. I promise you on that. But at this
How many
moment,
chickens would you like for an exchange?
Tab, I'm trying. Jaws just turns. I'll see you later. It walks out the door.
Thank you for coming with us.
Hunan just cracks up laughing. That alone was worth it.
He's had a very long day.
I'm sure he has.
Most days.
Most days.
So how many chickens?
You know what? If you find any more chickens, bring them my way. I will find homes for them.
We nod very seriously.
I will take all of your orphan chickens from now on.
Even the ones that don't come from hell?
Even the ones that don't come from hell.
Did we see any chickens on the walk over to the temple?
You did not see any orphan chickens on the walk over from the
Okay.
temple.
We hop back to our... thank you very much.
Of course.
And we will glance at V, and unless V looks like there are things that he wants to keep doing here, we will back out of the temple.
Okay.
Outside, we will... Are you going back to the manor?
Probably. But... Well, it's getting kind of late, isn't it? Can I have a check to see if the alcove would still be open? In that V wanted to go and see if there was armor.
At this point, no. The alcove is definitely closed. It's like 8:00 at night.
Right. It's a good thing I only need hours. Yes, I'm going back to the manor.
All right, we're going to the boarding house. Could you make sure that Jonathan gets there and doesn't trip or get lost or confused or
I will do my best.
hear things on the way?
I'll do my best.
We will sort of stand fidgeting for a moment. We'll reach over and tug on his sleeve just a tiny bit, and then we will scamper off towards the boarding house.
Is confused by the sleeve tugging.
probably fine.
Okay. As everyone finds their beds for the night, we're going to call it.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
What was that game?
Which game?
Things happened.
Things happened that it was a thing. That's for sure.
Well, you can't nearly TPK every game.
Sure you can.
It's like all of our post-traumatic adventure games. Just everyone relieving some tension.
I see no problem.
We came. We had fun.
Some of us got lots more books. Some of us got soup. Some of us got uncursed.
And some people kept their promises.
A lot of people.
Good
Lots of people
job.
kept their promises.
This group is not about breaking promises. I can tell you that right now.
Nope. Not about that life.
Nope, because I'm probably going to die tomorrow, so I got to have a good conscience on this. That's for sure.
They all have their own motivations.
People are so annoying like that. Having their
Mm,
own motivations and their own desires and their own purposes and their own feelings. What's up with that?
So inconvenient sometimes.
Really is.
really is. It, you know, especially when you want to go to sleep and you have to, I got to go accomplish this goal. Could this not have waited until the morning? Nope.
Apparently not.
It might
I
have.
mean, we
It
don't
might have been
know.
okay. Did you want to risk it?
He woke up out of a dead sleep, didn't he?
You didn't have to.
I don't think he had any choice in the matter.
Nope.
Yeah, maybe.
Nope. He signed a contract of friendship.
Oh, for real?
No. There's no contract of friendship.
I don't know. You carry around a book of contracts. I just figured it was a thing.
Come up with one.
Yeah.
Legit question.
So this is where I say there's room for dog play if people want to. People who want to buy magic items, just send me the magic item people who want to buy items, send me the thing in advance. That'll speed things up a little bit. Yeah.
But then you don't get great engagements like Jocelyn yelling at people. The real Jocelyn's coming
I
back.
feel
Yeah,
certain
it's
that
really
Jocelyn
nice
will
to
have
see.
opportunity to yell at people.
I no longer believe he's a homunculus. You're winning me back.
I think that the moment he went, I'm fucking blind, everyone went, oh yeah, it's the real Jocelyn.
Well, this isn't a disguise. Oh man, he's back.
Cure going, he says that like it means anything these days.
Alrighty, I'm going to bed.
All right,
That's
catch
a
you
good
guys
idea.
later. See you around.
Have a good night.
Good
Have a
night.
good night, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
And thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the content that you see, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe. And I hope to see you all